We're in round 4 now, which feels like an important group for these two because we have to find out where on earth they're going. And I have actually forgotten what group they're in. So it's either A or C. Is it this one? Nope, that's the wrong one. Forgive me. Forgive me. It was a 50% chance there. Pretty sure it's group A. And so, I mean, there's group C, though. That's cool to look at. Group A, yeah, we've got Tatoh sitting at 5 wins. We have MbL at 4. And so after this round, they'll both have 1 round remaining. And they'll be playing the bottom 2 players. So it's likely that they will get more wins. But with Tatoh being ahead right now, Tatoh winning this series would most likely put him into that 3rd place position, which would confirm that he goes playoffs. And so again, that's a big deal for me because when I think of Tatoh and MbL, I think of like top 10 players, top 12 players. Typically, they get into playoffs. They're very dangerous. And so they both are no stranger to deep runs. And so they've got to step it up. Like coming in with just 5 and 4 wins after 3 rounds is not exactly where they would have wanted to be. MbL's playing as the Portuguese. And then we've got Tatoh playing as the Malay. I like both these civs a lot. Very flexible civs for the Malay. It's usually about hitting the timings with their attacks when they advance faster to the next stage. And then for the Portuguese, it's just all their units being much cheaper on gold is very nice. And, I mean, the best players on this map have played towards the Imperial Age. And they have played defensive using their hill. Eventually you wall up and you play bombard cannons. And if you could get to bombard cannons with Portuguese, with that unique tech, they are incredibly strong. So I think Tatoh tries to end the game before we get to Arquebus bombard cannons. And MbL will probably try and turn this into a game that becomes post-Imperial Age with lots of economy. So, could be a long game. Could be a short game. We'll see. 5-on-1 for Tatoh, though, tells me we'll probably see an early barracks. And both players just pushing in their D right now. Royal, what's up? Thanks for the kind words. Says, long-time watcher, don't know how I missed you coming back to Twitch. Been watching you from the hospital. Thanks for all you do, man. You've helped me through some rough patches. Oh, man, Royal, that's sad to hear, of course, about the whole hospital situation, but happy to help you through it. And yeah, I've been back on Twitch for 2.5 years now. So a little late to the party, but glad you could come back in. Thank you. Yo, overhyped paladin, thank you so much. Ooh, Tatoh. Oh man, I don't know if that was on purpose or not, but he almost ran right into that TC. That scout was dodging the arrows like my Twitch chat is dodging the gifted subs from overhyped paladin right now. I like the walling from MbL here because he's expecting pressure and he knows that the full wall is probably going to get punished, so he's just walling to protect his berries. That's a really intelligent wall from MbL. And actually, he's walling back this way as well. Interesting. All right. Well, I mean, it might end up working out. He's still going to be pressured by men-at-arms, I'm guessing, but Tatoh hasn't made the militia yet. And Tatoh actually gets to see the walls are there, too. All right, I'm wondering if MbL will play archers or what. MbL's typically the type of player to want to go to Feudal Age and then adapt from there. Let's not forget, though, guys, that there are the reeds over here. So there's 50 wood per reed. So if you want to, you can go over there and chop through that. And that has been a factor in some of these games. I like the scouting from Tatoh. I think he sees that and he's like, all right, well, that's bad for MbL's economy because he's investing villager time and resources into walling. So he's still probably going to be aggressive here, but he didn't make the militia at all. I don't think there's any... Ooh, wait a sec. Oh, there is a massive hole there for MbL. So, yeah, I mean, units can run right through. Now, Tatoh didn't scout that, right? Tatoh didn't scout that. You're just going to assume that your opponent's fully walled there. But, yeah, as of now, there is a gap there. And Tatoh adding a couple more villagers, then we'll probably click up to Feudal Age. MbL, I was assuming the same, but let's see. Yeah, so this is just something experienced players will do from time to time, but it's really uncommon. So he's going up 23 vills. This isn't a fat... Well, now, hold on. Now he's adding more vills. Even he seems undecided here because he queued up Feudal Age and then canceled it. I'm still okay with it. If he goes up on 24 vills, he's not going up to Castle Age. but it's a really healthy eco. Like, when you invest into the walls like this, your villagers are walking around. It's not as smooth. I think MbL is just going to adapt to whatever pressure that Tatau's going to send his way. He's expecting pressure. So the walls give you enough time, and the villagers give you enough resources to still have a smooth economy. But I think Tatau also is just maybe not going to pressure him. Tatau makes it to feudal age. Tatau will get bowsaw or double bit and horse collar. And yeah, Tatau's just like, all right, I'm not going to overinvest against your walls when you're as good as defending as you are. And for MbL, maybe he will try and work this into a fast castle. We'll see. Again, hole is there. MbL has loom. You would assume that he could check that and find that hole. And okay, there we go. Speaking of, luckily he wasn't attacked, right? Like if Tatau knew that was there, or even if he didn't, he would probably find it pretty quickly. Yeah, so Tatau's just going to feudal boom. And you see this on arena-style maps at times. You see it on hideout. You see it on arena. This isn't quite like that because you have to work your way towards the walls, but he's got his walls down. And if he wants to make army and castle age, it'll probably be range units. But, you know, no pressure dished out to MbL. MbL goes market and blacksmith now. See how his resources aren't perfect for castle age? He was expecting to, if he needed to flex into a barracks or an archer range or something, to have healthy economy to get eco upgrades and do it. But because he hasn't been pressured, because there's been no additional investment into the defense, no harassment, he might be able to use the market and still go up here at a solid time. And then maybe he pressures. I don't know. Yeah, buys the food, uses the market, and gets the gold. And there he goes. All right. I'm wondering, is MbL just like blindly scouting his base right now? Man, my cat is not happy. I think he found out that he just realized I'm working today. He probably looked at the calendar and was like, wait a second, there's not supposed to be TTL today. I'm supposed to have at least 1 hour napping on my dad today. And now I'm streaming and he's outside the room right now, just moo, acting like my life is horrible, moo. He's so moody, dude. It must be confusing because it does. I'm just like, he's like, Dad, why is Dad in the room just like talking? Is he trying to talk to me? So I do feel bad for him, but he's got such a cushy life. You know, he can be so dramatic sometimes. He gets treats and has these excellent cat trees, has the excellent toy that's on the emote. He's a very moody boy. So, but yeah, MbL didn't actually do a lot of scouting this game. Okay, he just did. Never mind. He moved forward. He saw the archery range. So now he knows that Tatau will probably come with some army. But honestly, if MbL just plans around a siege workshop and town centers, I think that's fine. You know your opponent will likely go archers. You're in castle age faster. I really like how MbL's played this. And market will be used by Tatau, so Tatau can have a competitive castle age time. Tatau can still just boom. Like, this could be no army from Tatau. This could just be 3 town center boom from both. And if MbL were to add a siege workshop, let's say right now, like that's investment into military, which might not do anything. There goes MbL with the villagers. Tatau scout is here, and Tatau will see the siege workshop. And also see the monastery. So I think that's important for Tatau to know. The second town center is going up for MbL on the stone, which means it could be a long-term plan to drop a castle, but that's not a guarantee. And now Tatau's super heavy on stone. Wow. Okay. So, I mean, Tatau's expecting an all-in push. That's what that is. And he wants to play either tower defense or castle defense against this pressure. It brings the spearman forward. There's also 1 archer. I don't think it'll be long-term investment at all for Tatau. I think he just wanted to have a little bit of army just to poke the scout down, or maybe a monk. But yeah, it'll be Mangonel, Scorpion, and a couple monks for MbL. Tatau makes it to castle age now. Crazy castle age times. That's what the melee could do. You can go for the feudal boom with both eco upgrades and still get up before 16 minutes after walling. And Tatau's looking for the monk. And MbL actually ejects the monk as well, which is surprising. I thought he would show some patience there, but Tatau dives. Well played, Tatau. And imagine the value he can get here. If he blocks a little bit, he could maybe kill the scout. Okay, scouts moving around. MbL won't lose the siege. Luckily, I guess what you could do is you could just say, like, well, whatever, I'm Portuguese. Like, let the monk die. Scout's super valuable, though, 2 HP. Spearman will die to the town center. Monk can heal up the scout, which is actually very nice. Tatoh can't do the same. And Tato's still expecting lots of pressure here, guys. Honestly, though, MbL's economy has seen better days. He's housed. This is classic MbL, like, drops the houses in what should be his farming eco. He does kill the scout, though. He will get a relic. And then we have the castle here from Tatoh. But that is a castle you place if you're a little terrified. It doesn't protect the town center that much, but Karambits could be a really nice unit of choice. Maybe he's trying to hide the castle so he can go Karambit warriors to clear all this. But Tatoh skipped the blacksmith, so he didn't have that, meaning he can't go for an immediate siege workshop. One of those weird things about AoE. Blacksmith upgrades don't apply to siege, but in order to build a siege workshop, you still have to have your blacksmith up. It's also like the mill and the market situation is also really confusing. You need to have a mill before you can build a market. I don't know, guys. I kind of like MbL's position right now. He's got 2 town centers. He's got some relics. I'm not sure about the second monastery. I think if your opponent's going Karambits, you probably don't need to make that many more monks. But a combination of this much siege plus a couple monks, especially because MbL's really good at controlling the siege, this could be very good for him. Karambit's rolling on in. MbL needs to pay close attention to that. Pulls the villager away, but I think that should be a deadville. So again, a little wasteful. Tato's got the second town center. Tato's still pretty heavy on stone. And Tatoh doing the right thing here. Instead of engaging this, he's just going this way, where more siege and monks will be coming. And MbL is just going to escort this monk home. And hope to get the relic. I like getting the relics home. You don't want the relics in the middle. The middle's really vulnerable on this map. We're still wondering the direction this game can go. Because, like, Tato's making rams, so that's lots of army. MbL's banking up stone, so that means lots of army. But the Karambits, I mean, they just get completely flat in there. Oh, man, this could be funny. MbL converts the full HP one, and the other one was one little tickle away from death. All right, so the Karambits have done nothing. They've done absolutely nothing here. MbL's eco upgrades are coming in. Maybe a little late there, but that's still fine. And I'm shocked that Tato's going for rams here. I don't think this is going to work at all. Like, I think his plan is to choo-choo his way in towards the mangonels. And you get rid of the mangonels, maybe you can have enough Karambits in there to escort. Like, this is either going to be a masterpiece or a disaster piece, right? No in between. The positive is it could straight up win you the game because MbL's also coming to drop a castle. Get the emotes going, guys. We had so many gifted subs today. You guys should have it. Here we go. Choo-choo! Okay, Mangano shot from the darkness. Takes down one. MbL's looking at this like, huh? Like, what do I even do here? He's definitely very confused by this. He's getting atonement to convert monks, which isn't even helpful. And he's building a defensive castle. Okay, so he's bailing on the forward castle idea. To be honest, this has worked out for Tatoh because MbL's confused. Nice shot there from MbL. More Karambits coming in. MbL is to convert with the monks. He ends up clearing that. Loses a couple monks. But his monastery is going to go down. So he won't have the relics anymore. He'll make organ guns, which is a great unit here. But what a crazy game, man. Let's keep in mind, still 2 town centers for Tatoh. Still an army from MbL in the middle. Tato's going to be through. What do you do, though, when you see the castle and the organ gun? Do you just go to the middle again? Technically, you could try and take the castle. All right, he's going for the house. Against MbL, that's a good strategy. But now MbL is going for a gate. The rams could get walled in there. MbL could build a house and block the rams off. Okay, Karambits hop out. There's also the middle. And in the middle, MbL's clearing that. There's so much happening. There's more rams here. I'm still not sure if this is good or bad, but it's chaotic. And that's what these two can bring to the table. Maybe it's good. Like, MbL's eco is super idle. The Rams still aren't dead yet. It can actually escape as well. And then the Rams are pushing here to take down the Scorpions. There, MbL snipes a Monk with a Scout. Rams are still choo-chooing around. I mean, this is... What on earth is this game? Rams and Karambits have actually kind of worked here for Tatoh to clear up the middle. He also could take down the Siege Workshop. Yeah, look at him push the Organ Guns back with the Rams. Damn. I mean, it wasn't just a straight-up game winner, and Rams are still really expensive, and you still do eventually have an issue against the Organ Guns. But at least he got the middle back. Tatoh drops his third town center. And Tatoh will think about a castle in the middle. But I don't know. Organ Guns are still worrying. MbL can just rebuild his monastery and his siege workshop. Organ Gun should completely flatten Karambits. And these Rams are all super weak. So this Ram Karambit spam thing, I just don't know. I think Tatoh would either need monks or he'd need mangonels for these Organ Guns now. But Tatoh will build a second castle. MbL's no stranger to this Ram Karambit thing, because he did the same thing against Barros in the group stage, which I just am remembering now. Wishbear says, I remember when T90 said there's no way the Rams would work. I didn't expect them to do that well, but let's just see, all right? Don't get all judgy now. I'm very judgy there from Wishbear. I still wonder how long-term can this actually work. I feel like Organ Guns will kill this pretty quickly here. And Tatoh obviously wants to use the mobility, but with the Mangonel and the Organs, I'm pretty certain the Rams will start to get flattened here. And once they do, the Karambits just get cooked. Yeah, that'll be one Ram down. Bye-bye Karambit Warriors. And now the next Ram is just going to follow. And then it should be bye-bye Karambit Warriors. They're able to get away. Yeah, now the Ram is dead. Now the Karambits die. And that's kind of how I expected it to go. But, I mean, the positive for Tatoh would be it's a lot of work for MbL. He is on 3 town centers, and MbL is only on 2. But MbL has managed the 2 very nicely. And he can soon build a castle in the middle, and he'll have the 3 relics. You just can't go Karambits anymore. What a smart decision from MbL to build that castle at home, though. Because he was fully about to build the castle in the middle. Excellent decision to build the safe castle. And what the... Dude. Yeah, maybe back up a little bit. My God. Okay, he didn't know that Tatoh had that castle there. But I was just applauding him for placing a safe castle, and then he places that castle. Now, I think you've got to like your situation a lot here for MbL. You have the middle locked down. You're taking some really nice fights. I would just... Yeah, that's a good castle. It's far away from any trebs up against the Malay. You just do need to play patient here. You play towards your late game upgrades with the Portuguese. A forward castle against the Malay when they can so quickly go to Imp would be a real issue here. What in God's name is this? We have 3 additional town centers from MbL. And is selling off some stone and resources so we can get heavy plow. He's going to go for a mega boom. Very MbL timing to everything this game, right? Like the way he walled, the way he's played with the military. I think other people typically have a little bit more precise timings, but if MbL can cook, he's one of the best there is, man. And Tatoh able to take down the Scorpion. And Tatoh, he does have the outpost on the side, so does MbL. MbL, ooh! Ooh, Tato's through. He actually chopped through. And he does... he does have a Ram coming. Look at this from MbL's perspective. Just watch. Okay, hold up. Hold up. He's attacking the outpost. Tato's attacking the outpost, Vil. Tatoh has dropped the gate, trapped the villager, so the villager can't see it. Well played from Tatoh. And then, I mean, choo-choo! Here comes another Ram. And that's annoying for MbL. Now MbL has to worry about the middle. He also has to worry about the outside. I still don't think it's terrible for him because it should be easy to clear up. But it's a nice distraction for Tatoh. And Tato's about to hit Imp. I'm just surprised that MbL decided to go for 3 more town centers. I mean, that's Sure, that's a lot more villagers, but that's a lot more food investment that delays your Imperial Age time. I feel like this ram is lost. Like, there was no GPS back then, you know? You're just given a map. In this case, a very outdated map. There he goes again. All the villagers are going to die. I mean, maybe the ram will get a kill or two. All Tatoh really cares about, though, is keeping MbL here. And choo-choo! Choo-choo! Ram's gonna die. Tato's getting chemistry, though. And Tato's making more karambits. Tatoh still has an incredible economy. And Tatoh will probably make bombard cannons. Choo-choo! This is so stupid. I mean, I say stupid just because it's funny looking, but it's actually really smart for Tatoh. Because it must be so annoying for MbL. MbL assumes this is just going to die. And look at it go, dude. Look at it go. All right. Finally, the ram will die. Meanwhile, we got more karambits over here from Tatoh. And those karambits are dead. MbL's got a ridiculous organ gun count. But if Tatoh could pressure him here and make bombard cannons, organ guns can't deal well with the long-range siege. That is how you counter the organ guns, is siege. Mangonels could still work, but especially bombard cannons because you have the range. And Tatoh already got chemistry. MbL needs Imp. He needs Imp like yesterday at this point. But he places another defensive castle. It should be 4-1 with relics because there's a relic over here. And siege engineers for Tatoh. And oh man, what a castle. Tatoh knows that this is going to get really dangerous at a certain point, and he has to start to push these castles down. Look at how many vills he's bringing to this. It's a little risky to start it with the 3 vills, to be honest. I think if you start it with all 25, MbL doesn't react in time. MbL's going to try and engage here. There is still no bombard cannon here. There's 2 mangonels, and then there's the karambits. Good micro from both players there. Castle's being built this entire time, though. And that's fine for Tatoh. Yeah, that's perfect for Tatoh, actually. Because the castle fully protects the area. MbL engaged and loses some organ guns. And now MbL is going to be under pressure repairing this castle. But MbL is playing so well. But the difference in the imp time between he and Tatoh is incredible. That cannot, you know, eco-wise, it's been a very close game. But what a castle from Tatoh. Bombard cannons are out. MbL has to wait another 70 seconds until he gets chemistry. So his castle will go down. MbL needs to brace himself and turtle up. But he does have 2 castles. Ooh, Tatoh also chopped through here, so he wants more raids. Now, MbL's is still doing a really nice job at placing these castles. The raids should not do too much. But what you could do is you could go for full-on siege pushes at a certain point if you're Tatoh. Like, you see this, walk in with cannons, drop a castle there, and pressure. And he'll find out the castle's there, and Arquebus is already on the way for MbL. So, yeah. I think he's going to stop with the organ guns because it's tough to justify just 2 castle organ gun production. Maybe I'm wrong. He does have 18 of them. But Arquebus would apply to the bombard cannons. It also applies to any form of gunpowder. He's going to make a lot of it. Tato's going for elite karambit warrior. I can't believe he's going for elite karambit still. I thought we'd see skirmishers or archers or something. But he is still going to continue with the karambits. Smart from MbL. He's backing away with the relics because he knows he'll lose more ground. So he actually saves 2 of the relics at least. Third one is right there. And siege engineers 2 for MbL, which adds the extra range to the siege. And it will be hand cannons for MbL with bombard cannons. But Tatoh has definitely used the mobility on both sides. I think exactly what we just said is going to happen. Tatoh is going to attack through the middle, but that's where he's expecting the most pressure. So he will try and raid on the sides while distracting MbL in the middle. I think it's a good strategy, but this does get really dangerous because you're increasing the amount of multitasking you need to have, and you're up against Arquebus now. So very easy to look away and have all your bombard cannons die. As I say that, though, Tatoh snipes one. And Tatoh loses one as well, though. And karambits are just going to get melted. The benefit of the karambit is that it's cheap, so they're kind of throwaway units. Apologies to any very low HP units out there who typically work in numbers and are currently watching the stream with your friends. Sorry, but you're disposable here. But Tato's banking up some rams. He doesn't get siege ram with this Civ. I wonder if MbL's aware of this. Ooh, man. Bombard cannons going... Or, sorry, organ guns going down. I mean, MbL saw the Siege Workshop Foundation, but he doesn't see the rams. And Tatoh knows he's about to be spotted, so he's going to make a move. Just as MbL is coming to the middle with the castle. All right, here we go again, guys. Choo-choo! I actually think it's really good against gunpowder. Before, I wasn't too sure. But now that you get capped ram, and they're not elite organ guns, I think you can get him pretty close. It soaks up a lot of that damage. MbL will have to attack with villagers, probably. And if he attacks with villagers, the karambits can hop out. Meanwhile, MbL could be distracted in the middle. That's a lot of repairs from MbL. He does still have the organ guns. There are more rams coming in. No push from MbL. Actually, as I say that, look at Tato's micro right there. That is insane. That is all a setup. The rams and the karambits gave him that fight. That is unbelievable play from Tatoh. And this is unbelievable damage as well. There's still rams coming in. There's a trebuchet here too. Tatoh has been on fire today. I don't know if he'll take the castle, but I know he's killing MbL's eco. And I know that MbL might have some issues here too. MbL does go for elite organ gun, but he's sending villagers after this treb. And even if he takes down the treb, he's still losing so many villagers. He won't even take it. And meanwhile, Tatoh is just banking up all this gold in the middle, teching into some other things, and has the trebuchets for this castle in the middle. That was costly for MbL. Wow, I love that, man. Like, Tato's so good at that. Use a fight in one area to set up the other. But, karambits! Yeah, I mean, that's still a concern. The concern is if you don't have the rams with your karambits, they are just awful. And MbL still has the 4 relics. MbL still could maybe stabilize this side. He hasn't lost ground yet. And the hand cannons and the organ guns are looking pretty damn strong. Now Tato's going to switch into some range units of his own. But that could still be a problem against organ guns and bombard cannons. So that's not so easy. And he loses another treb. Here he comes again. Choo-choo! I mean, MbL just sunk 1,000 stone into repairing that castle, and he still might lose the castle. And Tatoh continues to send in units. He will not stop. And yeah, he's losing some units, but he's killing a lot, and the castle goes down, guys. So that whole push was more than worth it. Look at MbL repair now. MbL's got 59 villagers repairing his castle. They need to lay off some people in this economy. There's not enough jobs. This looks like he's repairing a wonder in a community game. And there's a countdown with like 5 years remaining. Like, oh my god. Tato's still losing a lot, but Tato's still producing a lot too. Can he keep his siege alive? He snipes the Trev from MbL. I mean, MbL's population's still good. But guys, I think there's a sign of nerves. He's got 159 vills. He actually doesn't have anything on gold. This would be the only gold he can take. Meanwhile, Tato's been mining all this gold freely. MbL will come this direction and lose a couple units to the castle there from Tatoh. And another choo-choo from Tatoh. Again, Katie's just been absolutely awful for him. But his units are super cheap. So, it's fine. Tatoh saving his bombard cannons there too. Could have easily lost 2. Where did the ram go? Oh, there's the ram. This is annoying, man. Like, this is really annoying if you're MbL. MbL is dropping stables and going for upgrades to go for light cav, which makes sense because he doesn't have a lot of gold income. But I don't think light cav actually solved the answers here, or solved the problems. I don't know if it's the answer, because the karambits can kill light cav. What's becoming the issue for MbL is he's soon going to have no siege again. Like, the organ guns just aren't enough, and he doesn't have the castles to produce them. We have another castle from Tatoh here to take his gold, and Tatoh just keeps pushing him in. We could actually get to a state where Tato's out of gold. There's not that much remaining. He's only got 6k left in the middle, and he only has 1 relic. Would be a pretty ridiculous game if he does run out of gold. But he does have gold in his base. which he has scouted. So a couple villagers go there, and he's got the gold. And yeah, Tatoh finally breaks the front line. Only 6K sounds like a stupid statement. I'm sure everyone here, type a 1 in chat if you would like to have 6K gold right now. That'd be nice. But in a game like this, man, when he's lost 300 units, when a bombard cannon is 250 gold, if the fights are competitive from MbL, that gold could disappear pretty quickly. I just don't know if it's going to, guys. MbL doesn't have any map control anymore. He's starting to lose his town centers. And just so methodical from Tatoh. And I would just say it's just the setup play. And it was through the Rams and the Karambits. The right side cut was awesome. The left side cut was awesome. Like, Tatoh, he knew that MbL would have the superior army if they were fighting in the same spot all the time. This is just so chaotic from Tatoh, and MbL just... I thought he had a good thing going here, but his Imperial Age time was just so late. MbL's monks have redemption. I think he wants to convert these bombard cannons, but he can't be out there because there's just too much army. He's backed away into his base. He's starting to spam light cav. He's getting his upgrades, but again, is light cav going to solve the problem when there's Arbalest and Karambit warriors from Tatoh? Look at Tato's bombard cannons too. He micros them off the castle and onto the organ guns. MbL will lose his last castle. His population still 185, so that's really high. The amount on food and wood is actually really impressive, but he doesn't have anything on gold, and the relics are right there as well. It's the first game. It's a warm-up game. MbL doesn't want to tap out yet. No one wants to resign at 190 pop, right? Except for Twitch chat, apparently, but we're way less focused on having to manage the game than MbL is at the moment. He's doing what he can to hold. But yeah, I just don't see it. I think the army count is just simply too high for Tatoh. Yeah, sure, he misclicked some Malay cav archers, but he'll have more army coming in. He's got Trebs on the side, which MbL will notice now. And Tato's still mining that gold in the middle. That's almost gone. He would need to notice this gold on the outside, but I think it's safe to assume that he will probably find it. I think what Tatoh could do here is actually just buy a castle where a bunch of towers and just fully tower the front. MbL's still holding on with these organs. And the organs were strong. The organs were a great choice, but any unit that he wanted to complement the organ guns was simply too late because of the difference in the Imperial Age time. And that castle from Tatoh to push down MbL's castle when he did, when he actually had very little, was really impressive. Because that was before he had Elite Karambit Warrior and the skirms that we see now. Yeah, like, MbL had the superior bombard cannons and lost the bombard cannon fights because of Tato's side attacks. That's just sick. It's amazing. And you can't even be that critical of MbL. It makes sense that he wouldn't be able to focus because he's getting attacked with random Rams and Karambits at points you just never expect him to be attacked. And I think this is where MbL does tap out. He's officially broken. The town center will fall. The relics will fall. His bombard cannons and his organ guns get cleared up. And game one, going to go to Tatoh. We'll have MbL's home map be Valley, a map that last week he did lose on. I don't want to get ahead of myself here, but there is a chance. This season's been a bit weird for some established players. There is a chance if MbL doesn't get some wins today that he might not be able to stay in Platinum League. He would need to deliver in the final round. I'm still going to say that MbL is going to turn it around. I thought he played well overall, but that was a bit of a masterpiece from Tatoh. He made 406 Karambits this game. 406. He lost he lost like 350 of them. But that's a lot of military. I want to know how many Rams he made too. Unfortunately, this only shows top 3, but he just made a lot of military this game. That was super cool, though. Very rarely do you see someone use the sides like that on this map. And he did it on both sides. He stole this gold. He castled over here. This was the key because this is early imp. And then in the middle, he was able to take all the gold there as well. You know what I also like from Tatoh? He really wanted to attack MbL in Dark Age and Feudal Age. And he just said, you know what? MbL's set up to defend for me here, so I'm just not going to. I'm just going to boom. And then he attacked later. I thought that was really intelligent. MbL had a ridiculous KD, but he never had the food and gold eco, and eventually just ran out of units. GG. All right, guys. So for those that have followed Tatoh over the years, Tatoh is like the player who's been known for picking humans on close maps, and he would very frequently go tower rush into a 2TC boom. But on the Civ draft, MbL picked humans first, even though this was Tatoh's home map. And after losing the first game, we go to bypass, and MbL plays humans. This is the only Civ that can build a second town center in Feudal Age. That is an obvious bonus, which typically means they get pressured because the opposing Civ wants to deny that opportunity. But, like, it's because it's so obvious that someone would go 2TC boom with humans. Usually the very best players just don't do it because the opponent would crush them. So my guess is MbL is going to try a tower rush along the front and then maybe drop the second town center as well. At the moment, the Zebra is trolling MbL. But yeah, we'll see. Technically, MbL could also just not go for the second TC. It could all be mind games. But there's no way, like, when you pick this Civ, you can't just hope to mind game your opponent when they also have really good bonuses that they're going to be using for their Civ. Like, the Khmer can skip through the ages without having to research their buildings. Like, that's a really nice bonus that Tatoh will use. Just picking humans and not going for a second TC would be... It would feel off to me. So... Where do you build it, though, chat? Like... When you go for the second TC. Because if you build it at home, your villagers get to work right away, which is awesome. And then your villagers are safe. They're not on the outside get picked off. But if you get pushed through the middle with siege or something, then both your town centers are there for the taking. We had somebody lose their entire base as humans. They were up against Celts, and they ended up going from 2 TCs here to 2 TCs out here. And then the Celt player built 2 town centers in their base. That was super funny. I mean, it was disastrous. The second I saw humans against Celts, I knew it was going to be a problem. But I don't know. I think there's an argument to not build the second TC here. Because this is just putting everything in the same spot. It just makes it so easy for Tatoh to pressure. They're not that far away. Yeah, now some of my mid and low elo fans will mention you also can go for Rams with this Civ. So Feudal Age Rams is an option. Now, that's usually pretty expensive. But technically, MbL could have picked it to go for Feudal Age Rams. I don't know. I just think MbL this season is very much in, like, send it mode, right? I don't think he's prepared. I mean, he talked about it the other day. He was a bit burnt out after trying to qualify for Red Bull. Obviously, Red Bull's happening in a month, too. So that could be in his mind. MbL's not full-time AoE anymore either. He works his job. And so I just think MbL, I think his aspirations are just obviously stay platinum. But the reason I bring it up is I don't think MbL's in a state right now where he's like, yeah, man, let's push for top 4. I think he's like, all right, let's play our games and give it my best. Humans is a very just like straight up send it mode. I think there's strong arguments that if it's not something MbL has practiced a lot, that maybe it could be seen as a poor pick. But again, it's mind games. He's going to gold right now, which is not what you would expect. There's no way he's going to go for Rams, right? Gold would make me think Rams. Wood would make me think Rams. Could be archers? Maybe archers? Gurnesis says, I keep hearing Celts, but it shows Khmer, which is a question mark. Well, you must not have heard the part where I was referring to another game where there was Celts. So I'm just relating the experiences we had. The only other game I can remember where humans was played this season was Celts. The Celt player pushed the middle, Scorpions and Rams. And so that could be what Tato's thinking at the moment. He's added the farms. I know he has very little on wood, but you really don't need the buildings with Khmer, so this is definitely some type of fast castle from Tatoh. And now barracks from MbL. So humans do have the cheaper archer ranges and stables. I would assume that this is going to be archers and maybe a tower rush through the middle. Maybe. But the more you commit to archers, the more you commit to towers, the more you delay your town center. So, like, you can't do all those things and still 2 TC boom. So, I don't know. I honestly have no clue. Does MbL know? I'm sure he does. And Tatoh goes to golds. It's been a bit since I've seen a straight fast castle from Khmer. Tato's eco looks like he could manage it, but to be honest, I think he's going to have to add a couple vills. And all right, MbL's up. So Tatoh will just be waiting to see, is there going to be a tower here? He doesn't see anything yet. MbL's just simply attacking the gate. And we have double archer range and a blacksmith from MbL. No eco upgrade. This might be Rams. This might be Rams, guys. Obviously, you think blacksmith for blacksmith upgrades, but the main reason high-level players don't go for the Rams is because you need the blacksmith before the siege workshop. And then you need the siege workshop. And then you need the Rams. And it's just so much wood. He doesn't even have the food for blacksmith upgrades. I think he's just for the siege workshop. Oh my god. All right, let's see. Notice he has no wood. He can't even make an archer yet. He has no food for fletching. He might idle his town center for fletching. Like, a lot of what we're seeing from MbL is just completely seen as unacceptable at a high level. No eco upgrades. Idling your town center. Oh, man. Rams are so much wood, dude. Give me the wood. Ah, no wood. Ah. It's pretty painful that he hasn't been able to spend right now, but when he does, there's going to be a ram here. And Tatoh is now not expecting any army. Tatoh doesn't have loom, guys. No loom is a big deal. No loom is a huge deal because there's archers here with fletching, and then there's going to be a ram too. Tatoh's woodline and his gold is here. If Tatoh would have pre-queued loom, it would be different. You could maybe go for something. You can't even go for a tower either. Or like the market. Oh, great thought, Tatoh. Until choo-choo. MbL's like, how's it feel, bro? How does it feel? I think Tatoh should be completely cooked here. Honestly. No loom? Are you kidding? No way. And still 50 seconds away until he's up. I mean... That's unbelievable, dude. Nobody expects it. And because nobody expects it, it makes it brilliant. Sure, MbL hasn't produced villagers for a whole 2 minutes, but he's here to kill. And Tato's pushed off of every resource. Tatoh could build his own siege workshop here in a moment, but being pushed off your woodline and your gold is just horrible. MbL's probably laughing right now. I can't believe it. Loom is on the way for Tatoh now. There's the siege workshop. MbL might immediately try and ram that down. Taking down the market's pretty critical. Guys, Tatoh might not have the wood for a mangonel. Okay, he's about to get loom. He's attacking the ram. The archers are out of position for MbL. He has to repair his ram. Tatoh needs the wood for mangonel. He gets it. Tatoh into the houses with the Khmer bonus. That's sick. It's actually really well done. This could have been so much worse for Tatoh. Tatoh can still win this game. And I actually think leaving, going to the outside could be an idea. What great damage control from Tatoh. Let's see. Can he get the mangonel out? He has to repair. This will be the only one he gets. And the siege workshop staying up is important too. Mangonel appears. Ram could go down. You kind of damage your own siege workshop though. And Tatoh actually does damage his own siege workshop a little bit, I think. It would have probably gone down anyways. And now MbL is going to build a stable there. Which is just... I mean, well, it's very apparent to the opponent what you are doing if you build it in their base. Maybe he didn't see the palisade wall. Yeah, he doesn't see that palisade wall. That's actually really unfortunate. I like to point out MbL's economy. There's no farms. He's dropping the second TC, which will take some time to build. So this whole, like, make scouts thing... It isn't actually that achievable with villager production. But my god. Again... This is Send It mode. This is Chaos mode. I respect the energy. He will have another scout here. And he has his original scout. Tatoh is going to drop a tower on the wood line and the gold so we can take his res again. And Tatoh saw the stable, so he has to be very careful here. Takes down the ram. Villager's still alive, though. The scouts definitely make it awkward. And, of course, there's no siege workshop for Tatoh because he lost the siege workshop. So, yeah, Tato's in a rough spot. This was nice, though. The fact that he's on the gold on the outside is really nice. I don't know if MbL sees that, but MbL must sense it. He doesn't see many villagers here anymore. And, oh my goodness, that shot was dirty from Tatoh. And MbL is not attacking the gate with the archers. Villager is super weak. She's 2 HP. 2 HP in a dream. She's trapped behind enemy lines. Oh, the shot from Tatoh. Wow, it kills the archers. Nice attack rounds with the mangonel, and he also killed the villager as well. My god. And now he builds another siege workshop. This is back to what we said before, though. Now you're 2 TCs in an area that could be pushed. What a game. I would just play Scorpions now. There's no need for Mangonels. You needed the Mangonels against the Rams. Tatoh should play full Scorpion. But Mangonel needs to survive. And oh god, MbL's micro. MbL's micro. He gets it. He gets it. Well played. That was costly. It's just so weird, right? MbL doesn't... Tatoh didn't have enough vills underneath the TC. Yeah, you do want to push MbL as quickly as possible, but you can't allow these vills to die. It might be too late now. I was just going to say maybe Tatoh could escape to the food. But look at MbL. MbL's like, I know you're out there somewhere, and I'm hunting you down. He's got archers around both angles. We've had games where someone had sent army to one side and missed something that's over there. So I like that MbL's looked. If he finds these villagers, Tatoh, I guess, would have to come home. Tatoh going to re-wall the choke point, which makes a lot of sense. Still massing the Scorpions. He'll also go for a ram. The scouts are pretty weak here for Tatoh, so I wouldn't for MbL, so I wouldn't expect much. And these are 8-range Scorpions. So they actually outrange the Mangonels. And MbL's forever feudal here, so... MbL's archers still looking around. MbL's archers here still looking around, but here comes Tatoh. And it's Tatoh's turn now. MbL does have a nice villager lead. He is actually making his own ram, which I guess could be used to ram the Scorpions. Tatoh will know that that's a ram, though, because you can't make a Mangonel in Feudal Age, only the rams. And they're... What is happening this series, man? We are seeing that there's just been so many random rams in this play all 3 so far. What's the final map? I'm hearing word it's ram nothing. Oh, wow. I didn't know he had that in the map pool. I don't even remember what the final map is. I think it's MbL's home map, whatever it is. I mean, that was smart. That was smart. But now his ram's gone down, and now his villagers are here, and I'm just worried he's just going to straight up die to Scorpions. But then again, there's still this. Tatoh pre-placed this house. Remember that. That'll become important in a second. I think MbL might be dead. Because you just cannot stop this many Scorpions when you're in Feudal Age. And he doesn't have the food eco for a lot more scouts. Nor can he actually get the scouts in there because the gate's there again. Watch this from Tatoh. He pre-places that house. He knows that MbL could come out. And he goes, whoop, through the house and back this way. That's so sick. That is so freaking cute, man. And of course, he already has the tower here, so he can come in no problem. He does have a ram exposed. And again, these aren't cheap. So MbL's attacking and blocking. That's good work from MbL. But at home, he's got problems. He's got big problems. And his buildings are starting to get taken out. There's also a stable from Tatoh, so he's got knights now, too. They won't have many upgrades, but still. And MbL is stuck making rams to try and defend from Scorpions. Which I don't think is going to work very well. That first time was funny because it's so rare. But Tato's wise to it now. And you're booming exactly where the pressure is. This is where all your villagers are being born. It's a real shame. You don't get to choose where you're born. This is not where I would want to end up. I mean, Tato's played it perfectly. He's brought the villagers in here to repair. He's got the knight. He's got the Scorpions. He'll understand everything that I'm saying, that this means that MbL will never be in Castle Age. Now, MbL's attacking back with the Vils. Tatoh just needs patience here. Hope the Scorpions get the kills. He probably just needs to back up and repair for a little bit. Now, MbL is out here, so he does have some economy expanded, so that's really nice. He also should maybe look around for Tatoh a bit more, but maybe he knows that Tatoh is just in here. Sorry, looked away. It looked like Tatoh lost one ram there, which is pretty costly. But yeah, feudal units just do not do very well against these Scorpions, unfortunately. Unless you had a lot of scouts, but MbL only has 12 on food. Like, he's still seeding farms here, too. I'd be, like, seeding farms anywhere but here. But it's easy to say that. Because, honestly, it's a state where if you lose your base, you're probably dead, regardless of how many villas you send away. Archer's there from MbL, sneaking underneath the tower. Tatoh kills that, too. And Tatoh is going for the TC. And Tato's got more rams, and he's got the Scorpions, and he's got the villagers. 3 villagers repairing the rams. And the knight is attacking the ram on this side. This is insane from Tatoh. He should have been dead. He should have been dead. This should have worked from MbL. I thought it was working. Because of no loom and everything. But the adaptability from Tatoh, soon MbL is about to be a normal civ, just on 1 TC. And what does MbL do beyond just continue this horrible, painful cycle? You gotta leave. And maybe go here. Like, go split up from the other people. Yeah. I like it. I like it. The problem is, you need a town center there, and you probably need to evacuate everything here. This is sort of kind of what happens for humans on this map. They just come push you, and then you have to just go to both sides. But there he goes. Luckily, he can build the town center again. So there he goes. But pretty soon, these villagers need to evacuate. You got to get out of here now, MbL. You got to leave while you still can. You can't stay. Pick up whatever is your most precious belongings, and you need to leave this land. Because this is only getting worse. This is your time right now. Run. Let's look at worker efficiency last minute. 33% for MbL, 71% for Tatoh. And MbL is still going to try and hold on here with the tower. Does still have army around. Maybe he runs into Tatoh, but Tato's starting to balance his economy a little bit. Tatoh will be happy with the amount of eco damage he's doing. He hasn't killed that many vills, to be fair, but it's a lot of investment. MbL will be without a town center here. So he's on 1 TC again. But, hey, guess what, guys? You can build another one. So there's some positives to look forward to. The other game we saw where this happened, the player who just left with everything, and then they lost like 12 houses and were consistently housed as well. It's so rough losing your main base. I think Tatau will actually start to boom as well. I think Tatau will be on 2 town centers soon. And I think MbL's cooked. I think he's completely cooked. I think he needed more damage. The faster castle age from Tatau made the difference. I love Tatau's commitment to the repairs here. And even diving here. Yeah, look. Repair, slaughter. Repair, slaughter. Yeah, it's just looking so good for Tatau right now. There's not enough room for these villagers to hide. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. 35 villagers for MbL. 30 villagers for Tatau. MbL's Ram, though. Do your thing, Ram. Save the people. Do your thing, Ram. There he goes. Okay, he's rammed down 3 scorpions. That's not bad. I'm not sure that makes these losses acceptable, but you do what you can. Well, pretty soon, the only thing he's going to have left here is the Ram. And wow, GG. Tatau 2-0. Now, that was Tatau's home map. So, I mean, the silver lining here for MbL is you still have your home map for game number 3. But obviously, the downside for MbL is you've just lost 2 games in a row. And you only have 4 wins in the group at the moment. So, could get desperate. Guys, I cannot say enough how impressive Tatoh was. Type of 1, if you thought Tatoh was completely dead, when the ram showed up and there was archers with fletching and he had no loom. He had no loom. His wood line was abandoned. His gold was abandoned immediately. Like, how, like, the value he got from his starting scout in that first mangonel was just good enough. And then the sneakiness to the outer gold when he needed to, and like getting the counter attack time when he needed to was so sick. That was so good. Now, at the same time, I think MbL didn't play this like someone who had, necessarily practiced it. He went 2 ranges, and I think we only saw like the first 2 archers like have just the timing on like the blacksmith, the archer ranges, the siege workshop just made it very obvious everything was very expensive. Still not a fan of the second TC being here, though. If you're going to 2 TC boom, I think you have to foresee that Tatoh will push you back, and you do not place a town center here. I think you got to be out here. I think that we can all agree on, but still, I thought Tatoh was in big trouble there. Well played. I mean, MbL's got 4 wins. He's in 4th place. The 5th place player has 2 wins. And that is who MbL actually plays in the final round. So that would definitely be a series MbL needs to win to survive. I think he's just like I said, I think he's in send it mode. He's going classic MbL style. He's going to make it messy. He's bringing a villager and his eagle forward to lame. He's hoping to find something here from Tatoh. Now, Tatoh should know that MbL could lame. He's probably looking for his boars. There's nothing immediately on the front. And MbL's still walking. MbL's still hoping. Ooh, okay, there's the town center. He's actually using a villager to walk around and collect sheep right now at home. And not a bad start for MbL. I don't know what his game plan is. I think his game plan is there is no game plan. And that's a game plan some people can get behind. He's stealing 2 pigs. And then he's also sees this boar. So you could wall in your vill, and you could kill the boar out here to slow Tato's food income down if you want to. Tatoh doesn't know about that boar. And MbL is going to... He's going to take that home? Dude, there's no, like, express next-day shipping in Age of Empires. That's a really long walk. But, okay. I mean, that's his plan. He did the house trick there to de-aggro it once. But keep in mind, he's got to do other things here. He's also got the eagle to delay this boar at the same time. Oh, this would this would be insane. If he can get this home, it would be unbelievable. Tatoh, if he looks there for a second, can see the boar in the fog. But I don't think he's too busy. All right, house trick from MbL. Eagle's still there denying this boar. This is ridiculous. To steal a boar with your villager and deny the other boar with your eagle at the same time is unreal. And then still have an economy that looks normal back at home is crazy, man. And Tato's like, where's my boar? Like, he's looking for the other boar. It doesn't make any sense to him. And MbL's doing it. And actually, conveniently enough, he has his other boar right here. So if he wants, he can just bring them both in. Oh, he got so lucky. He got so lucky that boar stopped for a second. He is going to bring his own boar, his enemy's boar. Was his enemy's boar even his enemy's boar? Or was it his boar the whole time? I don't know. But his eagle is trading against the scout at the same time. MbL's got to be very happy with this start. He's got all the food underneath the TC. And Tato's strategy here, guys, for what he wants to do, he needs food. And you could tell this messed with Tatoh. Scrambling up the house. Now, you could look at this and say, okay, well, it's a positive that there's lots of food in the middle then, right? Well, yes and no, because on one hand, yeah, you can recover, but you can't push it with your scout, right? Like, you'd have to push the deer, and there's not many deer. There's just a couple of them. And then MbL knows exactly where you're going to go. Like, MbL is just going to wait for you to go take those chickens, and he's going to probably arrive with some military. Tatoh is Dark Age farming at the moment. Which, what you have to do. You have no choice. It's a correct decision, but this is just really slowed down what's possible for him. Does MbL even know? MbL doesn't even know about his boar. But he assumes it's there, and it is there. So now, yeah, it'll be 3 boars for MbL, and I think maybe the additional sheep. So, I mean, Tato's just got to hope to get the res to click up here. And he's looking for the deer, and he should be able to see the deer if he wants the food. But yeah, it's a good point. I'm trying to do the math. I think regardless if MbL wins or loses this game, basically he just has to beat Licks to survive. Because he's at 4 wins, right? So let's say worst case MbL loses this. He stays at 4 wins. Licks is at 2. I mean, even if Licks beats him 2-1, MbL would still have 1 win above him and survive. So it's not too bad of a situation for MbL. I mean, I think MbL would probably say that if he loses to Licks, that'd be a big surprise. Licks has just not been super shape this season, and I think has lost all confidence a week or 2 ago, so. But I mean, in terms of the 3rd place fight, that is the bigger combo, right? In terms of the 3rd place fight, MbL, I think, still would have a chance to get into the 3rd place position if he wins this, 3-0's Licks, and then Tatoh maybe loses some games to Rapard. We didn't have a chance to look at the percentages, but... Anyways, I think Tato's actually adapted to this perfectly. It honestly could not have been better in terms of his adaptation to it. He had to get the farms down early. He had to... he didn't lose any villagers. He scouted his opponent as well, so he has an idea of what MbL might send forward. He hasn't seen the barracks yet, but I think he's looking for that. And yeah, obviously it's going to be militia for MbL. And MbL, I think, is assuming that Tatoh will come to the middle. I think if you're going to do it, you need to do it the sneaky method, and you got to go way to the side. But that's just such a long walking distance. Slavs is the fastest farming civ in the game, so it's never bad to have the early farms. And they also have infantry upgrades come in for free, so Gambesons and Arson is not bad. When Tatoh played Slavs last time, he went for full men-at-arms, and he wants to stick to the game plan here. But MbL obviously benefits. He has the additional villager as the Mayans, which is already nice, and then he has the additional food. Man-at-arms upgrade is on the way. Units are moving forward. Tatoh, I don't think he actually tracked that. I think he missed the barracks. So he doesn't know. And he's about to find out, and he backs off real quick. There will actually be a speed boost for MbL once you get man-at-arms. It's slight, but it's enough where you could chase that down. Tatoh will look to get the upgrade. He's just missing the gold right now, which is unfortunate. But he spotted that. Nice adaptation. And should still be able to get man-at-arms. I mean, I think MbL's got to be very happy with this, right? He already has the archer range up. Has so much food. Like, he doesn't need any farms for a long time. Which means it could be a very early blacksmith for him, too. The confusing thing for MbL, he's looking at this gold, and he's probably like... It's like, where is he going to be taking gold? He didn't actually see this gold either. We didn't talk about that gold. That gold's not great for Tatoh compared to MbL's. But we've seen that from time to time on Valley, some very punishing gens, which is why we've seen so many aggressive builds. MbL doesn't see the army. Guys, most high-level players here, if they don't see your army anymore, they know it's coming to the base, and they've got to get the walls down. And yeah, MbL, he gets the walls down. Nicely done. Perfect timing as well, because that's exactly where the man-at-arms were coming in. Skirmisher from Tatoh behind the wood line. Will fire on that archer. And both players will need to repair. There's a lot of tiny things you have to do now, right? Expand into farms. Get your blacksmith, get the upgrades. You have to micro. You have to build houses. MbL already has fletching. And look at the micro as well. He killed one vill already. And Tatoh forced to bring more villagers to build another house. He actually goes for the blacksmith. Tato's under so much pressure at the moment. And he's attacking different palisades, and MbL continues to fix the repairs too. So well played from MbL. And the man-at-arms will back up a little bit. MbL will obviously expect that fletching is going to be in. And now MbL goes for the food in the middle. All right. I don't hate it. As long as you consistently make army here, you've got the map control. This is not risky. And MbL's playing big army numbers. He's not playing big walls. We could see a second barracks or a second archer range here. I wouldn't hate some eagles in production too, because you know your opponent's on skirm. Tato's units are still around, though. They haven't been killed off yet. MbL's archers are coming back to chase that. And MbL's been extremely patient here. You're never going to kill Tatoh with one swing. As we learned in the previous game. Even with Feudal Age Rams, you're not going to have the chance. So it's all about those tiny advantages. The archers kill the scout. The archers will chase the man-at-arms. And MbL's still harassing the wood line. It really hurts for Tatoh that his farms don't have horse collar. Like, just had so little food in the Dark Age. It didn't set him up for Feudal Age at all. And now he's down, finished with the berries as well. And Dunnies, thank you for the prime. Thank you, Bector, for the prime. Armor's on the way for MbL. And he's making more man-at-arms. I think he understands what type of game this is going to be. If the opponent will continue to make skirms like this, I know Mayans isn't the typical man-at-arms civ, but I think it makes a lot of sense. That's more tankiness to the army to push those skirmishers away. Tatoh sees this. It's obviously discouraging to see your opponent has even more food. But at the same time, that is an area you could potentially kill villagers. So that gives you a chance here. I actually grouped up his man-at-arms with the skirmishers here too. It's really nice from Tatoh. He's microing his skirms against the archers. That's really nice from Tatoh. But there's just still those extra man-at-arms and the eagle there. And Tatoh just doesn't have the military numbers. And MbL's just done such a good job at that. 13 military against 9 right now. Pulls the villagers away. And arson for MbL. Arson doesn't really help in the fights. It helps against the buildings. He's not attacking the buildings anymore, so I'm not sure about that upgrade. But obviously he's got plans too. So it's probably him just thinking ahead. 3rd mill in the middle to take all the food for MbL. And still has 4 man-at-arms. Was mixing in skirms behind. Tato's dropping another range. He doesn't really have the food for more man-at-arms, so it's just going to be skirms and archers, I guess. But it does not feel like MbL is letting up the pressure here. And I think if MbL could just hold the front, that's Tato's woodline, and we might see Tatoh tap out. Especially with arson, you can take down the archer ranges too. At T90, will we see Boyar this game? I think we are super far from Boyar. I don't even know if we'll see Castle Age for Tatoh. It's 12 army versus 18, and his woodline's on the front against range units. Tato's going to have to really give it his all to get to Castle Age. And then I think from there, maybe longswords, maybe knights. I kind of doubt we're going to see Boyars. It does feel like all the military is grouped up nicely together for Tatoh, and MbL's armies a little randomly placed throughout the map. Like here, I'm seeing very similar amounts of military units. I'm wondering where all of MbL's military is at the moment. Because I'm just not seeing it. Maybe it is all there. It feels like he's got some units standing around, maybe. He's got slightly more in the group. And he's got a much healthier mix of archers, which means the additional man-at-arms will not do much for Tatoh. The Tato's skirms are hoping to take down those archers, though. And, I mean, it's pretty decent fights, man. The fights have been 50-50. The situation's not. But Tato's micro has been fantastic here. We'll kill another archer there. Still holding. MbL's starting to spam those eagles. Spamming another barracks as well. Resources collected still super close. KD 23-22. Another decent fight for Tatoh. And he is getting forging now and will continue to make man-at-arms, which, if he's killing the archers, can be really good with his civ. And I'm beginning to think that MbL might struggle. You have all these villagers right here, right? Like, if Tatoh gets it clear, Tatoh can just start sniping vills. And MbL's losing army. Crazy hold from Tatoh. Like, seriously. One mistake, this game was so over. Maybe that's the difference between the two of them. Because there's, in all the games so far, it's been awkward at times, right? But Tato's able to stabilize. Seems like he's done a really nice job at, like, knowing when to counterattack. I think game number 1 was kind of brilliant in terms of taking MbL away from the area he wanted to focus on. MbL is on the way to Castle Age. He's matched the army numbers. He's mixing in the archers again. It's a little bit risky, but if you can make it to Castle Age, then the army's tough to stop. But MbL just invested 1,000 resources into Castle Age. Tato's going to invest the same 1,000 resources into military. And here MbL's losing all of his skirmishers to the man-at-arms. And here MbL's still falling back. I don't know what unit MbL wants to make here. Do you want to make archers? Do you want to make swordsmen? Do you want to make eagles? The answer is yes to all three of them. But typically you do want to streamline towards one type of unit. I guess it's probably just going to be archers. He needs the eagles and he needs the swordsman as a meat shield for now. I mean, technically you could go for longswords as the Mayans. But MbL's villagers get found. He will run away down here. He's done a great job at placing more mills and expanding. And he'll have to wait for the upgrades. He doesn't have any farms. So I know it's cool and everything to have the chickens and the hares. But you know what's king? Farms. Especially Slav farms. And I feel like Tato's given himself some big chances. And this is the best possible time for him to fight. And MbL hasn't backed off. MbL is not backed off. Now, maybe, is he winning the fight? I can't really tell. Okay, he's winning the fight, so I guess he doesn't need to back off. I kind of expected him to save his archers there, but he's got the eagles and the man-at-arms there. He gets the clear. He's still in Castle Age. He could still get upgrades on all the military he has. And Tatoh is deep in Feudal Age. Yeah, if the KD's even, if the eco count's even, and MbL's an age up, should always prefer his position. And the eagles become significantly stronger now with the 7 base attack. And I don't know if you saw my mouse cursor there. For whatever reason, that scared me. And I jumped. I don't know why I'm not surprised. It does kind of look like Tatoh doesn't have that much of an answer to this. But that GG scared me. And well played from MbL. It all goes back to the Dark Age there. That lane was really nice. That lane was crazy. I want to rewatch that real quick. I mean, there's no doubt about it. This slowed down the inevitability of Tato's all in. Like, I knew he was going to go man-at-arms skirm heavy because that's what he did before. But this was insane. Like, to use a villager to steal your opponent's boar across the map and not lose that vill while simultaneously delaying their other boar. I mean, this is not easy stuff, guys. And people have joked for years MbL's name stands for Master Boar Lamer. I mean, that is just another tournament highlight of MbL when he wants to being an incredible lamer. He walked across the whole map. It wasn't even in a straight line. Like, he had to weave across the terrain. So yeah, I think that was a big part of it. Well played. So, I still think there's that slight chance that MbL gets relegated. I would say it's unlikely. Even though MbL lost 2-1 today. That was 2-1 to Tatoh. And Tatoh is just another beastly player. Let's pull up what the standings look like in the group. But I think things are, as we discussed, fairly straightforward in this group compared to some of the others. With that result, it is very likely we have Leary in first place in the group. Very likely we have Barles in second. Very likely we have Tatoh in third. And then very likely MbL is in fourth. The only thing that was going to change things in this group in the final round is sweeps. So for Barles, if Barles wants to steal first place, he would have to 3-0 Leary. If he 3-0s Leary, then he steals first place and gets the bye in the playoffs. Considering Leary's undefeated, I would consider a sweep unlikely. I think Barles could get a win, maybe even 2, but I think a sweep's unlikely. In Tato's case, well, actually, hold on a second. You know, in Tato's case, Tato's up against Rapard, who's got 1 win. So what would you guys predict the scoreline be there? Tatoh versus Rapard. Because if Leary sweeps, let's say, which he's done to everybody else, and then Tatoh wins games, Tatoh would only need 2 wins then to surpass Barles and go second place. So that might actually change. That'll depend on how those sets play out. But yeah, I think the numbers there don't make it quite as clear. But if you see Leary as a big favorite over Barles and Tatoh as a big favorite over Rapard, maybe Tatoh does end up getting second. Maybe. Rapard had some real energy against Leary. You could have beat Leary in 2 games, even though he didn't. So, and then in MbL and Lix's case, there's actually a slight chance that MbL would go into the playoff spot. That would be if he were to sweep, right? So if he sweeps Lix, which he might be favored to do, and then Tatoh gets swept or something. I think it's if Tatoh loses 2-1 to Rapard. No, not that. If Barrels get... I'm trying to think about the scenarios there that could put MbL into third place. Either way, he would need a lot of things to go his way in some of the other sets. I think that for MbL, 1 win and being safe is pretty much all but confirmed, and he's the favorite against Licks. So I don't think MbL is truly in trouble. But technically, if he were to get swept by Licks, Licks would send him down. So he's going to have to show up. I don't know. Licks has some crazy energy, too. And just with how MbL's been playing, I could see him getting a little bit nervous. And if Licks wins the first game, we might get a banger on our hands there. So, yeah, the percentages are calculated just based on it being a 50-50 shot for every game. It's not based on players' tournament history or any of our opinions on their skill level. So yeah. Right now, 12 wins for Leary in the group. We got 9 for Barrels. We got 7 for Tatoh. We got 5 for MbL. 2 and 1 for Licks and Rapard. And that ends round 4 for Group A.